Hey guys, Johnny H back again with week 2 of the NFL season pick'em. As you can tell, I'm repping my 49ers. As always, gotta take my hats off to them for dismantling the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, that wasn't pretty, but it was great at the same time. So, sucks to be a Rams fan, but they're probably used to that by now. So I started a competition with one of my best friends, Mike, aka Drop the Mic, just to see who can pick the most right and have a better record at the end of the year. Last week was a rough week for me. I did average. I would give myself a C. As you can see, I finished 8-8. The early games killed me. I made some ground on the late games. Got both of the Monday night games right, but I missed too many earlier in the day on Sunday to really save me. Now Mike, on the other hand, went 10-6, so he's 2 games up on me. So I got some ground to make up this week, and I think I have some solid picks to do so. So without further ado, let's start with the Thursday night game. Okay, New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. The Jets had a heartbreaking loss against the Bengals last week where the Bills just couldn't get it together. Kind of a no-brainer here. Jets should take the Bills in Buffalo. Alright, now that the Thursday night game's over, time for the main event and the Sunday games. In an AFC North matchup, the Baltimore Ravens take on the pathetic Cleveland Browns, who's already down their starting quarterback in Robert Griffin III. I think Flacco and his crew should handle them. I mean, come on, it's the Cleveland Browns. That's just enough said there. Baltimore Ravens all the way. Tennessee Titans at the Detroit Lions. The Lions really surprised me last week. Not many teams could probably say that Andrew Luck threw over 380 and had 4 touchdowns and still lost. Big surprise last week. Have a much easier matchup in the Titans, who are still trying to figure things out. So I'm going to go with Detroit on this one. Kansas City Chiefs at the Houston Texans. The Texans surprised me last week. I really didn't expect them to beat Chicago. Maybe I just thought Chicago was better than they really were, and I overlooked Houston. Kansas City put a heck of a fight and a comeback against the Chargers. I see him keep rolling against the Texans this week. All right, everybody loves a good underdog, so here we go. Upset special of the week. Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots. You think I might be crazy for picking this as my upset special of the week? However, the Dolphins kept Seattle in check in Seattle and almost beat them. Whereas the Patriots, they did surprise me beating New England, but eventually I don't see a Tom Brady-less Patriots winning all 4 games. I think Miami might be the team to come in to New England and beat them. So I'm going to go with Miami as my upset pick over the Patriots. New Orleans Saints at the New York Giants. The New York Giants played a tough game against the Cowboys, despite them not having Tony Romo last week, and barely pulled it out. Whereas the Saints had a shootout last week with the Oakland Raiders and barely pulled that one out. Drew Brees looked to be in form. He was hitting his receivers left and right. Ingram didn't do that bad either. So I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints. It's not wise to bet against Eli and Odell, but Drew Brees looks like he's on fire. And when he's on fire, that offense can be scary. And now it's time for me to reveal what game I think is going to be the game of the week. And to do so this week, I'm going to let Madden NFL 17, almost at 15, but 17, help me. And what I've done was I set up a game, 3-minute quarters on all Madden, and let the actual game control who wins. And I'm going to be showing you the highlights. So here it is, the game of the week.
Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.
Cincinnati Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, this was the game I chose as my game of the week. This AFC North matchup. I think this will go right down to the wire. It's a very important division game. Madden liked the Bengals, and to be honest with you, I can't blame them. The Bengals are a good team. AJ Green tore it up for them. But at the same time, you got Antonio Brown to counter that on Pittsburgh. And D'Angelo Williams isn't a slacker either, with Big Ben as well. I got to give the edge to Pittsburgh just because it's in Pittsburgh. If it was in Cincinnati, I'd probably be going towards the Bengals. Usually the home team plays pretty well in this series. So I'm going with the Pittsburgh, despite Madden saying the Bengals. San Francisco 49ers at the Carolina Panthers. San Francisco played out of their minds, out of this world against Los Angeles, just utterly embarrassing them. Well, now it's time for them to come back down to earth. As much as I hate to say it, in my opinion, Carolina got embarrassed at defense against Denver. They were up 10 points, 2 scores in the third quarter, and they let Denver come back. Plus, they had a few extra days to prepare for this game, and that, to me, that really doesn't make a difference because they're playing San Francisco. So, I don't think it's going to be pretty. Going with the Panthers over my Niners. Dallas Cowboys at Washington Redskins. I'm going to make this one real short until Dallas proves to me that they're a safe pick or they're ready for me to pick. I'm going to pick against them because really without Romo, they're not as near as good. I mean, everybody knows that. Washington bounces back. I look for Cousins and Reed to hook up. So, there you go. With a little mix of long bomb to G-Jacks. Redskins. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Arizona Cardinals. Tampa Bay, they looked for real in week 1. I mean, Jameis Winston just owned it. He owned it. And as a Florida State fan, I was loving that. Whereas Arizona, I don't know what happened to them. New England should have been theirs for the picking, theirs for the taking. And they just couldn't keep up with them. They tried. But I think Arizona rebounds. And I'm going with the Cardinals. Keeping that NFC West race interesting. And here we go. Now I want to let everybody know what my toilet bowl game of the week is. So you're going to see, just like I did, and I forgot to mention it, with the game of the week and the upset special of the week, I will have my record throughout the year posted at this segment. So as you can see, 0-1, Browns couldn't win the toilet bowl or the upset game over the Eagles. So here it is. Seattle Seahawks at the Los Angeles Rams. And you might think I'm crazy making this the toilet bowl game of the week because Seattle's in it. And it's not because I'm a Niner fan, so don't think that. But I chose this game because I think it's going to be a worse loss for the Rams than it was when they played San Francisco. Because the Seahawks are a lot better team. So I don't think this isn't going to be a fun game to watch, basically, is what I'm trying to say, unless you're a Seahawks fan. Because the Rams have pretty much proven they're all Todd Gurley. Like I said last week, you shut him down and they're done. Whereas Seattle has so many weapons, plus that defense. Pretty much a no-brainer. Got to go with Seattle on this one. Indianapolis Colts at the Denver Broncos. Indianapolis came to play, but Detroit just showed up, which is something they don't do very often. And then you have Denver, who had to come back against Carolina. Madden says it's an even matchup. I don't. I think Andrew Luck is back, and he proved it last week. Denver's really going to have to step it up to keep up with Luck and Hilton. And then you have Gore as well on the ground. They do have a defense that can do it and neutralize it. I just don't know if they will. Whereas Indianapolis has always had a shaky defense, but high-scoring offense. Kind of a different feeling to the game with Manning not involved in it. But I'm going with Indy on this one. Atlanta Falcons versus the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders tore it up last week. They took it to the Saints in a heavyweight fight, matching them blow for blow. That offense is dangerous. The defense might not be there, but they proved that offense is dangerous. Whereas the Falcons, they're still trying to find their way. Julio Jones, what happened to him last week? Really, it was all Sanu. If Atlanta wants to win this game, Julio Jones needs to be called a lot more in this game. But I'm going with Oakland, like I said last week, and I'll probably say every week, I think they're going to take the AFC West. Jacksonville Jaguars at the San Diego Chargers. San Diego played crazy good last week, but somehow they let Kansas City come back. Maybe they didn't have the heart to finish the game, whereas Jacksonville, they took it to the Packers like I thought they would, but fell short. I think the loss of Allen is really going to hurt the Chargers, and Bortles will get back on track with Hearns and Robinson. See some more of Yeldon, TJ Yeldon, the running back, and Julius Thomas gets some scores as well. So I'm going with Jacksonville over San Diego. Sunday night football pick time. So here we go. Green Bay Packers at Minnesota Vikings. Sunday night football. I have no idea if Sam Bradford's going to play for Minnesota, but to be honest with you, I don't think it'll make a difference. So we got especially with Rodgers as quarterback for the Packers and Nelson still healthy. So, I mean, you shut down Adrian Peterson. Hill was able to keep the passing game going, but that was against the Titans. That won't happen against the Packers. So it doesn't matter to me what quarterback is playing. And yes, Minnesota won the division last year, but I'm going the Pack. It's a very important game at an early part of the season, and Green Bay will be clutch. And last but not least, are you ready for some football? Monday night football, last game of the week, game everybody looks forward to. And here's my pick. Philadelphia Eagles at the Chicago Bears. How these two teams got a Monday night football game, I will never figure out because they don't deserve it. Chicago, you let me down last week. I'm not falling for that trap again. We're on the flip side. Philadelphia, you impressed me a lot. Carson Wentz showed a lot of potential and a lot of poise. And in a year or two, given some better weapons, he could be something. Nelson Aguilar even stepped up in this game. I got to go with the Eagles over the Bears. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles! Take it on Monday Night Football. All right, guys, there you have it. My Week 2 NFL Pick'em. So I'm hoping to do a lot better than 8-8. I need to do a lot better than 8-8. The first week for me is always tough because you really don't know what the teams are going to look like. Because preseason you don't see anything, and then you have surprise teams like the Lions come out of nowhere. So now that I have a better look and feel for what this NFL season has to offer, I'm looking to do a lot better this week. So until next time, Johnny H out. Thank you for watching.